There is a proposal right now that the SANDAG, San Diego Association of Government, is actually considering that to tax 4 cents per mile in San Diego. Is that correct?
It's somewhat correct. Yeah, SANDAG is the San Diego Association of Governments. It makes up the 18 cities in San Diego County, and they're the regional transportation entity. So they determine where freeway lanes come and go, on ramps, off ramps, the trolley system, the bus systems. All of it falls underneath SANDAG, and basically they've come up with a brand new plan that they want to put forward as a regional transportation plan in San Diego County. And they want to have a per mile tax to help pay for this plan is a per mile tax for every mile that you drive anywhere in San Diego County. And so the state is also considering the same tax, and the state's tax is 2.3 cents a mile. And then the San Diego County is proposing an additional 2 cents per mile. So that would mean anybody driving a car or vehicle in San Diego County on the roads would be taxed up to, 4.3 cents per mile, 2 cents of that going to the regional transportation plan, along with some other taxes that they want to raise for this particular plan. So basically, I'm calling it's a track and tax. They're going to track you somehow, know how many miles you're driving, and tax you accordingly.
And why are they doing this, and what are they going to do with it?
Well, unfortunately, they're taxing people who drive in their cars, and they're giving the money to transit. What they're trying to do is beef up the transit transportation here in San Diego County. They want to put in high-speed trains, they say. They want to put in more trolleys. They want to put people on buses in transit, and they think that's what's going to clear up congestion on our roads and freeways. And I disagree with that premise. And basically what they're trying to do is tax you out of your car and make it so inconvenient that you start to ride transit and trolleys and trains. And I don't think most Southern Californians are going to do that. I think this is going to be a failure. And I don't think that's the way you get people to buy into a transportation system.
Now, according to their studies, only about 3% of people are using the public transportation system in San Diego, right?
Yes. 3%. Yes, you're right.
And they are assuming that this is going to increase to 13% by 2050, given that they would do this investment, right?
Last I heard, they want to increase it to 10%. But even if they go to 13%, that leaves 87% of the people still on the roads. And so I don't think it's going to be convenient for most people. If you're a young family, you got kids, you got to take them to the orthodontist, or you take them to a soccer game, or you take them to something. Public transit is not going to be the answer for many people. Now, it is, in downtown San Diego area, that makes sense where there's more population, living closer together. But for us, I represent North County, San Diego. There's also East County, South County, San Diego, and we're not as densely populated. Transit's just not going to work for us as it will for in the more populated areas of downtown San Diego. But we will be paying the tax for that. And unfortunately, most of that revenue is going to go towards projects elsewhere. And unfortunately, our roads are not going to be kept up. We're not going to get the HOV lanes that we need up here in North County. We're not going to get the road improvements that we need. All the money, we're taking it from road users and giving it to the transit system.
Now, what's the cost of this? It's from what I gathered, it was $160 billion for the project, right?
$160 billion in today's dollars. And they want to have this plan that they're trying to build this whole thing out by 2050. So 28 years from now, they want to build all of these. They got high-speed rail they're trying to put in. The cost is about $160 billion in today's dollars. And it's, that's more expensive than the space station was. And so it's just crazy, what it can escalate to. And it's not just the per mile tax that they want. They also want to change about 800 miles of our freeways, which is about all of them, 800 miles to toll lanes. They want to make them tollway lanes. They want to charge you an extra fee if you use Uber or Lyft. They also, in addition to the gas tax and everything else that we're already paying for, and they also want to put in 2 half-cent sales taxes. So we'll be paying almost 10% in sales tax in San Diego County. And so they're trying to tax people out of their cars, which to me is crazy.
I lived in San Diego for about 20 years. It's very hard to not drive in San Diego. Even if you use the public transportation system, you probably need to have two cars. You need to put one car on one end, another car, because it's very hard to walk. And imagining carrying things with you if you do grocery shopping, and some people have commented on that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's always, kind of the last mile. How do you get that last mile traveled? And once you get off, how do you get to where you're going? And, Uber and Lyft are options. But, if you're going to work every day, 5 days a week or something like that, you'll use the train. But, everyday life, when you're running to the grocery store, you're doing errands or doing things like that, it's very inconvenient to do. To take public transit. It just takes too long and the connections aren't always there. I mean, if public transit came to somebody's front door, they might take it. But this tax really, it's going to hurt the low income earners. It's going to hurt the poorest of the people, because many of the housing in San Diego County, when you lived here, and it still is today, it's very expensive. And so unfortunately, a lot of people who work in the service industries and in the lower income jobs, they can't live where they work. And so we've got a lot of people that drive in, from Riverside County or from East County or things like that. Carlsbad's a pretty affluent city in North County, and they got a lot of hotels. I know a lot of their service workers live in Chula Vista, or they live in Hemet and things like that. So the poorer people are really going to be the ones that bear the largest brunt of this tax by their driving farther distances to get to work. So it's kind of a regressive tax, and with all the talk of equity and the here lately, this tax is really, especially the per mile tax, is really going to hit the poor the hardest.
Now, this association of government, these are mayors and these are the county supervisors, mayors, and the leaders, the community leaders that are deciding this. What are their thoughts on all of this?
Well, there's two different camps. I mean, there's people who me personally, I'm fine with transit down in San Diego, but make sure that we have roads and services that we need in other parts of the county. It's just unfortunately most of the money all goes to the city of San Diego. So people are split because some people are just adamant that not another inch of road or freeway. And what Sandag has built into this plan, because unfortunately two cities really control Sandag, you cannot expand any freeway footprint any more than it is today. So the only freeway improvements you're going to get is maybe in the median or on the shoulder, but there's no freeway expansion at all is going to be allowed in this new plan. And so what happened to give you a little history, in 2017, Assemblymember Lorena Gonzalez, who represents her district in San Diego County, mostly is in the city of San Diego and the city of Chula Vista. And what she was able to get passed through the assembly was a new method of how San Diego County would vote on transportation issues. And it went to a statewide vote of all the assembly members, most of whom do not live in San Diego County, but they voted on how we were going to be able to vote on projects. And so what they did was it used to be to pass anything at Sandag, you had to have a tally vote, like one vote, one entity, and also a weighted vote based on population. So for something to pass, it had to pass by both the weighted vote, depending on your population, and a tally vote. Well, what Lorena Gonzalez did, Assemblymember Gonzalez did, is she took it and said, no, a weighted vote now can negate a tally vote.